program we're watching at this moment broadcast on Star Television and is coming to you from our Media One Center at Mama Street, Brookfields in Freetown. Star Television, the power of communication. And my guest on the program today is Mohamed Fuad Dabo, head of the National Social Security Insurance Trust in Freetown, Sierra Leone. When the National Social Security Insurance Trust, Nassit, was established by late President Ahmad Tijan Kaba in Sierra Leone. Since then, it had been taking care of old age pensioners by protecting them against poverty, which breeds not only grave social ills but threatens their survival. So, when retired Brigadier Julius Maada Bio assumed office as president of Sierra Leone early last year, he appointed Mohamed Fuad Dabo to head the National Social Security Insurance Trust, Nassit. And I am at his Walpole Street office in Freetown. Hello and welcome to the program Moment. Let me start our conversation by asking you to tell viewers who Fuad Dabo is.
Thank you very much, Bill, and thank you for having me. Let me first of all say my office is worthy by your presence and your crew. I'm very much grateful for you to be here. Who is Mohamed Fuad Dabo? Mohamed Fuad Dabo was born in the city of Boyama, Wende Chiefdom, Bo District, to my late father, Paramount Chief Mohamed Khalifa Ibrahim Dabo II. At a tender age, I attended the Methodist Primary School, RC School in Blama. I proceeded to the high school, which is a public school, the Bo Government Secondary School. And thereafter, I proceeded to the Fuabe College, University of Sierra Leone. I had an employment with Standard Chartered Bank. I left Standard Chartered Bank. I proceeded to the UK, to the University of Manchester, to do a postgraduate degree. Took a brief spell in the UK, came back home, and I joined Nassit as Head of Human Resources and Deputy Director. Currently, I'm the Director General of Nassit.
So you are the Director General of Nassit.
Thank you.
And as you've just mentioned, Nassit is not a strange place for you. So when you assumed office, what were some of the challenges you inherited?
Like any organization, I assume office as the DG Nassit with plethora of problems. Problems ranging from people, problems ranging from systems and technology, problems ranging from compliance with regards to social security, also issues relating to connectivity, which is the system, and several other issues which associated with what I've just named. And I was confronted with a situation where I have to deal with these challenges squarely together with my team. Insofar as you may be aware, which perhaps may have prompted this interview, when I took over office, the first thing I focused my attention on was that, and it continues to be, to place operations and benefits payment at the center of the way we do things here. Because that is the reason why we exist. The act that established Nassit is very clear on our mandate. That is, our mandate is to collect contributions and register institutions and their members, and will pay benefits as and when they are due, correctly and to the right person and on time. So this is what I said as a mandate of the scheme. I will put it at the center of business. And in doing so, you require so many things. You need people, you need systems and technology, and also you need environment. So beyond that, I held meetings with my colleagues, my staff, across this country. We have locations in Freetown, Makeni, Bo, Kenema, and Kono. And I made sure that the very first month that I was appointed, in May, I went across these branches to talk to my colleagues, to talk to the staff.
And what were your findings out there?
The staff generally were enthusiastic to see me as one of them appointed to this august position, and also they were looking forward to a change of leadership that will drive the scheme through the mandates that were given by the Act, and also to put the customers in the center of our business.
Are you providing that as we speak now?
Bill, you only need to listen to colleague staff across this country. For want of an answer, yes, I'm providing that leadership. Currently, we had these challenges of enough inspectors. We did not have inspectors that could cover the range of the spheres of influence. What we did, we improved on the number of inspectors. Not only that, we also provided them the tools and kits that they require, because these are the interface of the customers. Inspectors are the ones that do inspections in establishments. They register our members. So they are the forerunner of the scheme to the customers and the establishment. So as a result, we have to put them at the center of what we do. So together with my colleagues here, we have to increase the number of the inspectors, and we conducted extensive training, and not only for the inspectors, customer service staff, benefit staff, data entry clerks, etc., and even managers, supervisors. And since then, training has become a component.
So has that paid off as a dividend for the organization, the Nassit?
Well, I am a believer in the concept of training not being a cost. It's an investment. And we have to receive returns on those investments. As of today, the work pattern of our colleagues have changed. Even the errors, the number of errors they used to commit, that hand has reduced considerably. Customers are vouching for the receptions they receive today at our respective locations. So to answer your question, yes, we are now recouping the return on the investment that we have done in the training of our colleagues.
In all of this business, you talk about Nassit. Customer service is paramount. And if Nassit is to survive, you have to make sure you provide excellent customer service, which is not seen around Sierra Leone today in most companies. Are you on top of this?
You can never be on top of customer service as a leader. It is the customer themselves who say, yes, we are satisfied. And that is our mission. Our responsibility here is to make our customers comfortable and to ensure that they believe in what we do. And the service we deliver are very close to their doorsteps. What I have done in that direction, Bill, we used to have customer service subsuming under a division. To show my willingness and determination, I have separated customer service from that division. Customer service now stand alone and report directly to me as the Director General. That is the importance I have placed on my customers. And we had a customer week last year from the 1st to the 5th of October. The way customers describe it is like it's an event, it's the best that they have seen since they became members of this institution. And we have also established hotlines so that customers can call, which they have not been doing before. They can call those hotlines 24/7 to ask questions, to raise queries, make comments, and make requests. Those numbers are working, and those numbers have proved very much vital in ease of our business. So talking about customer service, we are there, we stand for the customers. They are the reason why we are here, and we believe that those customers will be satisfied by our services that we deliver and the product. What has happened with the training? Product knowledge has increased. The product knowledge of our staff have increased to such a way that staff could now even call their customers to ask them questions. What do I do for you? Without them coming to the offices. That's where we are.
Are you saying the feedback you're getting from outside, from the customers, are encouraging?
The feedback is encouraging, but I am a customer-centric person. I still need to do more. I want a situation where customers will live in their home, in the comfort of their home, to access all their information, to know their statement, to know their balances in their contributions, to fill in forms online. That's the point where I want to be. We are not yet there.
So how soon do you intend to take Nassit to that steps?
And in 2017-18, the trust embarked on a construction of a platform, which we call a reconstruction of our NAPO system, that will have features that will enable us and customers outside to access their information, fill in online forms, etc., etc. But halfway through that process, the then government terminated the procurement process. As of today, I have just written a letter to State House, to the government of Sierra Leone, that I now want to recommence that process for them to lift the ban of of suspension. I'm waiting for their response. And of course, once that response is given, whenever they give that response, I assure my customers, within 12 months from the date of lifting the ban, I will be able they will be able to access their information, fill in their forms online, and send inquiries specifically on their own issues, not general queries.
Let us look at the relationship you share with your members of staff down here at Nassit. How cordial is it? Or how would you describe it?
Let me say this. There is a common notion among staff that let me describe it as they say it in their local parlance. They say MD, not a nonsense person. That's what they say. But then, basically, when Sierra says so, it means you are disciplined. I have cordial relationship with my staff, and particularly those who are willing to step up to the plate. We have a challenge. We have made promise to this country that we will change the narratives of Nassit. That means you, myself, and the rest of staff, we should step up to that promise that we have given our customers, our clients, and the people of this country, that we have to change the narrative of Nassit. You may be aware, particularly so in the media, Nassit was not known for anything good a couple of years ago. Are we going to continue that media relationship? No.
What was responsible for that?
One, there were considerable delays in terms of benefits payment. Two, amongst the staffs themselves, tools and equipment for them to work was not found where it is available. It took a length of time for them to have it. So today, we have been able to resolve the issue of staff. Staff tools, working tools particularly, are available on request. And of course, on need basis. So now you can actually see the employees moving around with confidence in the building, making sure that they reach out to their customers, respond to customers' queries ASAP. That does not mean, Bill, that it is a clean slate. No, it's not. We still have these challenges. But my procedure and strategy has been take one step at a time. As long as your focus continues to be on the objective, the goalpost you have set to yourself. I assure you, within reasonable time we'll be there. And this country will once again turn around and say, Nassit is doing well. Nassit is meant to stay. It's not a flash in the pan.
So, Nassit, like you said, has had some bad times over the years. And in terms of investing, they had problems as well in that area. How much did Nassit lose as a result from all those bad investment they embark upon?
There has not been any moment I sitting with the press talking about Nassit without they inviting the question about the investment. And I have been very consistent in my response. The investments that we have done so far cannot be described as not the right investment. What I accept always, perhaps our approach could have been different if we decided to embark on such an investment. But let me make this very clear. For example, our investment in housing, like Regiment Grey, I hear our people are saying that we have constructed a top-end habitat which the contributors cannot afford, and that is not in their interest. But I want to assure those contributors that the high-end habitat or development that we have done in real estate, it is in no less a person's interest but the contributors. Don't forget that this fund that we are managing is partially funded, and that gap of that partial funding, we only fill that gap by the investment returns that we receive. So as a result, you have to invest in things or issues that could bring you a return on those investments to fill in that gap, because the scheme is partially funded. And they also claim that those houses are not even occupied. They are empty. That is not true. I don't hold it against them too, because here our understanding of occupancy is by our way of life, our behavioral patterns. You can only know that somebody is in this house by our own concept when the kids are playing the veranda, when you see linens hanging outside, if you see groups gathering around the compound. But that gated compound, it's not like that. There are people in those flats. You hardly see them outside unless they are driving out of the compound.
So, Mr. Dabo, what you're trying to say, the building, is it a white elephant or a success story for Nassit?
In terms of our models, it is a success story. And I want people to believe that those buildings, those investments are making returns. Like I said to you, the idea of having those houses is not wrong. It's perhaps the approach we took. That's the dichotomy in terms of our perception of our investment. But let me also come here. Not all of them are doing well. Not all of them. As I speak to you, I will not name names on camera because they are investment. But there are certain investments that if I have a second chance, I would suggest that we take a different look at them.
Why take a different look at them?
Because there are other ways of doing similar investment. There are other ways of doing it. So, on the balance of probability, we have some investments that are doing very well. We have those that have challenges. But on the whole, if we take this investment as a patient in a hospital, I will tell you that Nassit investment is not in the intensive care unit.
So what is Nassit's investment if it is not intensive care unit?
Nassit investment has challenges. And those challenges are challenges that we are confronting headlong. And I believe with my leadership and the team I have, we have made commitments to look at those investments squarely. And in fact, like I said to my colleagues when I took over, the first 6 months of my elevation to this position was looking at the scheme itself. Now we have turned around the scheme in a way that we are comfortable that the scheme is not autopilot. We are not focusing on the investment. We had an extensive audit recently, and also we are looking at those audit findings which we expect shortly. And each of those investments that we have, ranging from the regimental grade, the hotel, the hospitality industries that we are, and also our plazas, and also the agricultural investment that we have, all of this put together, we have decided to have a regime of revisit, so that we can have a holistic look at it and take one step at a time to resolve their issues.
How damning was the report?
What I have received is a draft. I cannot comment because they are yet to come out for public consumption.
The program we're watching this moment broadcast on Star Television, and it's coming to you from our Media One Center at Mama Street, Brookfields in Freetown. Star Television, the power of communication. And my guest on the program today is Mohammed Fuad Dabo, head of the National Social Security Insurance Trust in Freetown, Sierra Leone. We're taking a break, and when we come back, moment continues. Welcome to the program Moment Broadcast on Star Television, the power of communication. And we're coming from our Media One Center at Mama Street, Brookfields in Freetown. My guest on the program today is the Director General of the National Social Security Insurance Trust, Nassit, in Sierra Leone, Mohamed Fuad Dabo. Welcome to the program once more.
Thank you very much, Bill, of having me.
Let us look at Nassit over the years, because compliance has been and continues to be a challenge in the operations of its daily routine, and that has led to the establishment of a court to deal with social security matters. What gains have been made so far?
Bill, I'm happy that you are talking about our compliance status. But let me make one or two corrections there. We are yet to establish fully the Social Security Court. What we have done so far is we had relationship with the judiciary, fantastic relationship with the judiciary. And I want to use this medium to extend Nassit's sincere thanks and appreciation to the judiciary for giving us the support and ensuring that a courtroom has been provided, and the building they gave us, we have done renovation. We are almost near completion. And with the coming of the new CJ, I've also had meetings with him to apprise him of what we have done so far with regards to the court. And the unique coincidence is that the Chief Justice at the moment is fully briefed, is fully seized by the principles of Social Security. Haven't been one of us here. So he is so excited that the judiciary has been able to support us in the establishment of the Special Court for Social Security Matters. The establishment of that court, the commissioning of it, will be done soon. This will be done in this first quarter. And by matter of fact, as of 2 weeks ago, the CG and I had discussions on the same issue, and we are like very close now in selecting a date for the opening of the court. Let me come to the compliance status of Nassit. It is a challenge. Establishments, some of the establishments are not complying. Not only complying, some are fraudulent, because it is the responsibility of the employer to deduct 5% from the salary of the employee, and the employer 10%, which is total is 15%, and those monies are expected by law to be turned into Nassit as contributions for their staff. What is happening currently? Some establishments will deduct the 5% from the earnings of the staff and their own 10%, which constitutes the 15%, and use it elsewhere, not only in as contribution on behalf of those employees. That is the fraudulent aspect of establishment.
So what is Nassit doing towards that?
We have our own systems and procedures here in the event such situations are detected. We take them to court, but because we don't have specialized court, and because we are using the same court as other matters, our issues are mostly delayed. And by the time those court matters are resolved, maybe a contributor has retired, and by the time you get final judgment on those cases, he's dead. So as a result, we have determined ourselves to say, look, let us go in as it's happening in other social security countries. Let us have a special court. And thank God, today, I have to announce to this country that very soon, within this first quarter of 2019, a special social security court will be established under the leadership of the Chief Justice Edwards.
And from what you're saying, with the advent of this court, all the things will come to be in the past.
Of course, Bill, you know, when you say you are taking a Sierra Leonean to court, you say it only once. The rest will follow. I know when the court start sitting, and the court start trying people, and what we have even said, if the law permits us, the first few trials will be live. We will invite you to cover the first few trials.
So you are going to name and shame people who are involved in this kind of fraudulent act?
We are not only going to name and shame, it comes with penalties as well. Jail sentence, not exception. So I'm so glad and excited about the coming of the Social Security Court, and I believe that compliance rate will improve, and delinquent institutions will diminish considerably, and I believe Nassit also will be able to perform its duties, to perform the mandate that we have in the Act, speedily, accurately, and to the right people.
The program you're watching is Moment, and my guest on the program is the head of the National Social Security Insurance Trust, Mohammed Fuad Dabo. A word for a wise is quite sufficient. Nassit is not going to be talking anymore. Action is going to come in, and you have been warned. May people them and from the big man, Nassit, they don't tell una. Una where they do them backhand, then dirty game for say, not for can pay all the money for to Nassit for workman them, holiday done, honeymoon over. So be on your guard, and you know I'm go jail, do the right thing, and build Salon and make Salon go before. Let me come back to you again, Mr. Dabo.
Are those complaints being heeded to? Yes, we do heed to those complaints, and as they come along, so we address them. And we have locations, as I said, in Bo, Kenema, McKinney, and Freetown. These are regional locations. We have gone further to have what we call satellite locations. We have one as a sub-office in Kono, another one at east end of Freetown, and another one at the west end of Freetown. These are all the locations where we operate from. But that besides, you can even use your home as our location. We have hotlines which you can call. It doesn't matter where you are. You're using the facilities of the Africell and the Orange. The numbers as 810, 811, 812, 813, 814, 815, and 817 on Africell and Orange.
I want you to take it very slowly so that they can digest and then start calling these numbers, these toll-free numbers.
The numbers are 811, 812, 813, 814, 815, and 817. It's across country. Once you use Africell and Orange, you'll be able to reach out to Nassit.
So, viewers out there, if you have any a message you want to pass on to Nassit, those are the numbers that you can dial, and then there's somebody at the other end waiting to make sure they listen to what your messages are all about, and then come out with prompt action so that what you complain about will not be a thing that will continue to gain currency within Nassit.
Yes, and in fact, like I said, with those numbers, you can call us and resolve your issues from the comfort of your home. So location is not the issue. The numbers now take our footprints even at your home. That is why we say customer service is the center of what we do. That is the passion that we have. As I have always said to my staff, I am customer centric, and I believe no matter which industry you find yourself, your customers are key. Those are the people that makes you exist. So as a result, you ring fence their issues, you speak to them, and of course, they will in turn bring more customers to you because of the good message they carry. The current government campaign on the platform that he is going to introduce a free and quality education. I'm glad to say on this medium that government has launched that. The free quality education, of course, it is the vogue all over this country. We are feeling it. As an organization, we also think that within that ambit of government, that strategy, we should come in a way. And what we have tried to do is to support campus residential system by providing student hostels in 5 campuses: Fuabe College, Milton Mangai, Jala University, Eastern Polytechnic, and in McKinney. Each of those units constitute 216 bedrooms for a facility of 2 per room, across the country. We are doing this to ease the surge that will soon come from the free and quality education. You know very well that the enrollment has increased because now learning is free in primary and secondary schools, and we expect that graduates from high school will move to university. Currently, you know, for instance, like Mixed Magai, accommodation is nil. Fabi College students are not on campus. So we need to enhance those accommodations. That's the reason why Nassit have decided to consult those student hostels. And that also, what we have decided to do, we have engaged a development partner, Guji Investment Company. We've already got the designs. We are at the stage of concluding on the parameters of those structures and of course payment plan. Once that is done, we'll commence construction. And from the approach we are taking and what agreement that we have done with the developers, the construction will last for 18 months. Within 18 months, you have 5 student hostels, 416 bedrooms each in this country.
That sounds very, very good for the nation, because students are really going through terrible times with regards to accommodation and also in classes. Like a couple of days ago, a student said to me, Mr. Bill, we are like over 90 in a class, in a lecture room. That was not too good for me to come to my ears.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure when you were going to college at Frabi College, it never used to be like that.
Bill, I still can remember number of students per lecture, particularly single modules. We are not up to 24, except where you have combined classes, like general programs. So today you are talking about 100 people in one class. That is untenable. It's because of lack of accommodation, particularly classrooms. We are also looking forward to see other investors to join Nassit in terms of investing in learning, investing in education, particularly in terms of providing these facilities for the boys and girls at school and universities.
So, personally, and also as head of this organization, what do you make of education? How do you think? What's your vision towards that direction?
As head of Nassit, the DG, you asked me personally. I believe the only way forward we have in this country is through education. And with the current government free and quality education that they have introduced, that is the direction that this country has to take. And I implore the indulgence of everybody for us to support in whatever way we have to do so. Apart from the hostels that we have decided to consult in those campuses, as rightly asked me, our vision towards education. We have also joined Ministry of Finance, Ministry of Education, for us to put together a student loan scheme that will support those students that cannot be awarded the government grants in aid and also are not financially viable from their family to pursue university education. So that arrangement is on, and the team left here for Tanzania and Ghana sometime last year, and I'm reliably informed last week that they have now put their reports together for the attention of the 3 establishments. And once we look at that and we see the viability of it, which we already have some sense of it, we will start taking one step at a time so that we'll be able to establish a student loan fund. That fund should be accessed by deserving students to assist them to pursue their learning at university.
How time consuming is your job? Does that affect your private life?
Quite honestly, it is something that you may not want to talk about, but it does. 10 months from now, before now, it's totally different matter, completely different. The attention is about what to do as your responsibility how can you improve on system and processes in this organization, and you have the customers out there waiting for you. They are also yearning to have the service, seamless service from their own end, and you have to got to look at what is the agenda of the country, because our investment, apart from yield, we also look at an investment in public harmony that has public interest. So we are not only paying pensions, but when we invest, we also look at the right side of it. Is this investment in public interest? So these are all the things that engage your thoughts. So for an answer to our question, yes, the job has tremendous impact on my personal life. I'm not complaining.
Again, Mr. Dabo, when you look at Nassit itself today under your leadership, how would you say success story has come into the organization?
We are not satisfied with what we have achieved so far. But whatever we have done so far, I owe it to my colleagues as well, because it cannot be done by me alone. We have been able to improve on the way we do things, particularly in terms of our customer service. We have been able to improve on the working tools of our staff. We have been able to improve also on the compliance issues. That is by engaging the judiciary for us to have a special social security court. And before I forget also, Bill, we have decided to increase our footprint. After the census we conducted a couple of years ago here, the geographical landscape of the country changed. We now have a Northwest province, right? So it has become a region for us. So what we have done is we have secured a premise and also a land where we intend in the future to construct our own ultramodal office. And the headquarters of Northwest is Port Loko. So very soon, Nassit will open a new office in Port Loko to take our business to the doorstep of our customers.
I wish you the best of luck in your venture. But before we go away, because time is running out for us on the program, Mr. Dabo, what message would you like to part with viewers watching the program and your customers?
The message I want to pass to my customers and the viewers: please believe in us. We are here to stay. And Nassit means Sierra Leone.
Thank you so much. You're watching Star Television, the power of communication in Sierra Leone. Bye-bye.